Welcome to this tutorial on how to report to read-across in Euclid using Analogue Approach. In order to avoid unnecessary animal testing, when registering the substance, an alternative approach of read-across may be used to fulfill the information requirements. There are two approaches to report to read-across in Euclid: category and Analogue Approach. The category applies when read-across is employed between several substances whose physical, chemical, and toxicological properties are likely to be similar or to follow a regular pattern because of structural similarity. The Analogue Approach is used when read-across is employed for a much smaller number of structurally similar substances. Under the category approach, properties can vary in a clearly predictable way, whereas the Analogue Approach mostly relies on the notion that the result for one chemical is the same for another. To fulfill the information requirement using read-across requires the reporting of both the experimental information on the source chemicals as well as on the outcome of the read-across prediction on the target chemical. Let us now have a closer look on how to report read-across in Euclid under the Analogue Approach. The source records are normally endpoint study records with a type of information selection experimental study, and they must be provided as directly linked to the substance dataset. Endpoint study records indicated with the type of information to be read-across from supporting substance, structural analog or surrogate, are considered to be target records. The target records document the outcome of read-across from the source substance. Now, let us see how this works in practice. First, let us go to the source record. For the source record, we will need to check that experimental study-related information is provided. It is important to acknowledge that under the adequacy of study, there should be a key study, as it gives enough reliability on the information provided on the endpoint. The rest of the information for the source record should be filled as all the experimental study records. Please pay attention to the test material information, as it should identify the substance on which the test was done. Now let's have a look at the information to be filled in the target record. Under the type of information, we select read-across from supporting substance, structural analog or surrogate. Under adequacy of study, choose either key study or weight of evidence. Make sure to fill in the justification for type of information field, providing a justification for the specific endpoint. In the cross-reference table, link to the endpoint study record which contains the source data. Click New Item. Under cross-reference field, provide the reason or purpose for the cross-reference. Under Related Information, select the source record. Provide test material information under Materials and Methods. Please be aware that even though the field is called Test Material Information for the read-across target record, this is not the material that was tested. That is reported in the experimental source record. In this case, the test material information refers to the target material of the read-across, the material to which the prediction is made. In order to link the test material, click on the Test Material Information. Select. Search for your test material and select it. Under Results and Discussion, you should report the results for the read-across target material. Make sure to also complete the field under Applicant Summary and Conclusion, indicating how estimated effects relate to C and L criteria for the target substance, and how results impact distribution of the target material. Finally, under the Executive Summary, briefly summarize the read-across approach and applicability of results.